I'll never forget seeing Dead Rising for the first time. The amazing graphics, the amount of zombies on the screen, and of course, all the beautiful bloody zombie carnage. The original Dead Rising was the iconic zombie killing game that helped put the 360 on the map way back in 2006. With the release of Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster, Capcom promises a nostalgic return to the franchise's roots. But the big question is, does the first game hold up to the standards set by its sequels, or does it simply feel outdated? Plus, as a huge Dead Rising fan, I've played all the games multiple times, so be sure to stick around and find out the surprising way this stacks up against all the other entries in the franchise. First off, the gameplay is where this remaster truly shines. Thanks to improved controls, combat and navigating your way through the undead horde feels much more fluid. Capcom has given the players the option to switch back to the original controls, but to be honest, I'm not sure who would prefer those other than a purist or a sadist. And as you slay zombies and rescue survivors, your character gains XP, or in this case, PP, and grows more powerful, making each zombie evisceration add to that sense of growing progression that everyone loves. I completed the game after 9 hours with the bad ending, and then went back after a total of 12 hours and got the good ending. At that point, my character was only a level 30. But luckily, the game encourages multiple playthroughs with New Game Plus. So the second I finished that first time, I just jumped back in the game and started all over again with my previous progression and unlocks to chase that level 50 cap. The infamous time mechanic remains intact from the first game, forcing players to navigate the mall within a 3-day time limit to save as many survivors as possible before escaping. While this adds an interesting layer to the challenge, it can also be frustrating at times when you find yourself scrambling to locate missing survivors who are hidden in the corners of the map, or worse, when you get a notification that survivors are dead that you had no idea that existed in the first place. No doubt I'll be using a strategy guide on my next couple of playthroughs. The story hasn't undergone any significant changes, which may leave some players feeling a bit underwhelmed. Frank West does return, camera in hand, ready to document the chaos in a manner that feels reminiscent of the original game. The narrative does a solid job of setting the stage for the franchise's lore and history, offering insights into the origins of the zombie outbreak. And while the plot itself doesn't offer much in terms of surprise, it does provide enough context for new players to appreciate the series' humble beginnings. Visually, the game has received a huge upgrade. As a graphics snob, as much as I loved the original, it was pretty much unplayable by now. However, using the RE engine here, the graphics are much more vibrant and detailed, showcasing improved character models and facial animations that enhance emotional engagement during cutscenes, even if they are just talking about zombie murders. The environments feel richer, and the diverse range of weapons and items adds to the undead ambiance. The fun animations during a zombie takedown have also seen a noticeable improvement, adding a layer of enjoyment to the chaotic action. The biggest compliment I can pay the sound design is that it's exactly what you would expect. Thankfully, all NPC characters have voice acting this time around, which is awesome. There's also a fun throwback song to the 2000s in the courtyard area. But most importantly, the lame mall music is fun and always persistent as you run around the shopping center like a maniac. And of course, speaking of crazy, the bosses are still there and still bust out some campy lines, even if they're a bit more subdued than they get later in the series. One of the standout features of this remaster, besides its autosave, is its replayability. After completing the campaign, players unlock Infinite Mode, which ramps up the difficulty and puts your survival skills to the ultimate test, which honestly doesn't sound too fun to me. However, they thankfully added New Game Plus, allowing you to revisit the campaign with all your previous upgrades intact. This is a really necessary feature for any game, but especially in a game that is about 9 to 12 hours long like this one. Additionally, I do want to shout out the achievements and trophies in the game. They are the perfect mix of story progression and random challenges that encourage players to try new approaches, such as walking on zombies' backs or ramming them with vehicles. These golds are not only fun, but also extend the gameplay and show the devs really cared. Playing the Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster was a nostalgic experience, albeit one that left me wanting more. As a longtime fan of the series, I appreciated the opportunity to revisit Frank West's story in the iconic Willamette Mall setting. However, the absence of some of the franchise hallmarks, like the weapon mixing mechanic and the over-the-top moments that the series is known for, cannot be understated here, and it really left me missing the other games in the series a bit more than anything else. In the end, the Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster is a fun, albeit familiar, trip through the world of zombie chaos. It successfully revitalizes the original experience while introducing quality of life improvements that enhance gameplay, but it doesn't quite reach the heights of other entries in the series. If I had to rank each game in the series, the order would be number 1, Dead Rising 2, off the record. It's just bigger and better than the one that came before it, and the Uranus Zone and adding Frank to it, it's truly a fun game. Plus they added Sandbox. Every game needs Sandbox. And number 2 would be Dead Rising 3. That's the criminally underplayed Xbox One with Nick Ramos, who we never really heard from again. But it's a really fun game and it really goes into the vehicle, so definitely don't skip that one. Number 3, I would say Dead Rising 2. Still super great. Introduced co-op. Love it. Can't wait to play it again. Number 4 would be Dead Rising 4. They got rid of the co-op and they gave us a new mall and they brought back Frank, but it just wasn't the same. But still fun, still great, and it had a great holiday add-on. So if you're near Christmas, be sure to check that one out. And last but certainly not least would be this game, Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster. That might sound like I'm insulting the game, but I'm definitely not. It's a fun game. But unfortunately, without the iconic weapon system and crazy over-the-top antics the series is known for, it's just not as good as the others. It's like saying it's cheese pizza. Sure, it's not as delicious as stuffed crust pepperoni sausage and jalapeno pizza, but at least, hey, it's still pizza. While it may not be the best or have all the hallmarks of the Dead Rising series, it clearly serves as a reminder of the fun and chaos that started it all. But mostly, it just makes me want Part 5. For fans, this remaster is worth diving into, but it's important to temper your expectations and lower them a bit. And if you're on the fence, waiting for a sale might be the best move. Overall, the Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster is a fun, nostalgic return to Willamette. It might be the weakest entry in the series, but it still offers several hours of fun and worthwhile time. Dead Rising Deluxe Remastered is a solid game that earns a 7 out of 10 from us. Be sure to sound off in the comments. Let me know your thoughts on the remaster and how does it stack up against your favorite entries in the franchise.